I sit down and I'm not even joking, the girl sitting next to me has 11 toes. Yeah. So I'm trying not to like stare, you know, because it's rude, you know. But then I start like eavesdropping, and then this Asian lady's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, your dad did drugs." And she's like, "No, my dad did not do drugs." Okay, she's like, "I'm actually a gypsy, and I married my first cousin, and it's hereditary, and we all have 11 toes." Okay. The lady's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, your dad did drugs with your cousin." They can never catch the whole story. Yeah, so I'm like, only in an Asian shop would this happen. The next thing that I hear, she's like, "Oh, it's only going to be $56 today." And she's like, "I'm so sorry, I had to charge you for 2 pedicure. You have extra toe, I have to charge you extra." And she's like, "Are you freaking kidding me? You're going to charge me for 2 pedicures because I have 11 toes?" She's like, "I'm so sorry, here at Sally now we have 10 total in it. You go over 10 toes, you start all over." So she's pissed off at this point, and she's like, "Okay, you know what? I'll pay you the $56 for my pedicure. You are not getting a tip, okay?" And so she's like, "You don't give me a tip today, I give you fungi." She's like, "Excuse me, Juicy, you're gonna give me fungi?" And she's like, "Yeah, but if you're okay, I do you a big favor today." She's like, "I give you fungi number 11 toe, you wait 4 days, number 11 toe fall off." I do for you. She's like, "What do you mean my 11 toes fall off?" She's like, "Yeah, like Dr. PhD, I do for you today for free. You wait 4 days, number 11 toe it fall off. I do for you. Like PhD doctor, but don't wait 5 days. You wait 5 days, that's too long. Go to the next toe." She's like, "Go to the next toe." She's like, "Yeah, then you had 9 toes, no problem. You don't want to do that." She's like, "Okay." Anyway, so by this point, I got my feet in the water. I got my feet like out of the water. I'm like, "Oh my God." And she's like, "Oh, put your feet back in the water. Why you worry?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, you just gave this gypsy girl sitting with her first cousin fungi. Like, you sure he had like a blue eye and a green eye. Like that was the last thing she needed was fungi." And then like, I sat there so long, I realized that they're actually running a prostitution joint off the back of the salon. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, I came here for a pedicure. If I leave with an STD or fungi, I'm gonna be pissed as hell." And so, you know, she's like, "Oh no, don't you worry, put your feet back in the water. It'll be okay, we're very sanitary." And I was like, "Well, are you sure you're sanitary?" She's like, "Oh yeah, the tub is sanitized itself." So I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of." So she's like, finally she comes with me, she's like, "Listen, you give me good tip, you get no fungi. Depend on the tip, how sanitary I am." So I was like, "Okay." So I put my feet back in the water. I'm like, "So, like, what do you think, $5? Is that a good tip?" She's like, "Oh, I still give you fungi all 10 toes, they will fall off. But get nice from BC, match your skin color, do nice for you today." So, yeah. So I just stick to the white girl nail shops if you don't want to end up with fungi. Another thing that's great about going to church is everybody homeschools their kids. So my mom homeschooled. She had 5 kids and she homeschooled us. So I love homeschooling personally because I never had to do any schoolwork at all. Yeah, it was great. You know, another thing that's great about homeschooling is you can take like 14 vacations a year. It was exhausting. We had 14 field trips. Yeah, the down part about homeschooling though is you have way too much free time on your hands. So, yeah, that sucks. One time, I was supposed to be getting homework, but my mom was on the phone, so I saw like everybody breastfeeding my cousin because my aunt had something going on. So my mom had twins at the time, so she breastfed my cousin Trevor for my mom. So then, you know, we're all playing outside, and I thought, you know, I think I'm going to breastfeed my cousin too. So I was trying to breastfeed my cousin Trevor. I actually almost invited him tonight, and I was like, no, that's just way too awkward, you know. So I just started like kicking and screaming and stuff, and he's like, well, whatever. I was like 6 and he was like 3, you know. Awkward. Yeah, so one of the things when you're like homeschooling, you're always like want to go play outside, and your mom's like, she's like looking out the blinds out the window, and she's like, no, I don't want you guys to go out yet. Can you wait till like 2 or 3? I want people to think that you're not doing your homework. I'm like, think or no? So me and my brother are like, well, whatever, we'll just wait until the phone rings and we'll go sneak outside. So that's exactly what we did. And we got the neighbor kid, and we were like, you know, let's kill this kid with the hose, you know. So we both each got a side of the hose. We just started taking a circle. We just had this kid just rolled him up with the hose until we were like at his neck. And he was like, why are you guys killing me with the hose, you know? And we're like, well, first of all, you're a public school kid. So, I mean, you're probably diagnosed with like everything under the sun, right? You're on Ativan, you're like drooling on yourself right now as we speak. So we just decided that we're just going to take you out, you know? So, yeah. And like right when we were about to choke him to death, my mom, she like came out. Thank God. Because we were really killing him, I don't know why. Anyways, you know when you're like homeschooled too, you talk like you're like 100 years old, there's another thing, kids like, why are you killing me? I can't breathe. And I was like, well, I think I got this from my grandma. I was like, you made your bed and now you're going to lie in it. So we're just choking this kid off. Anyway, my mom comes out and she's like, oh my God. She's like shaking, what are you doing? What are you doing? She started reading me the 10 Commandments and telling me how I'm about to be a murderer, basically, and stuff. She like grabs my face and she's like, listen here, little missy. You know, she like pinches too. She pinches my neck right here and it still hurts. She just rushes me in the house. She sits down. She's like, listen here, little missy. What you did today was almost murder. What you did today is never to leave this trailer. You understand me? Yes, it's fine. She was like, your dad is going to kill you when he gets home. And my dad was actually like super happy. He's like, did you learn anything today? I was like, no, I didn't learn a darn thing, but I almost killed the neighbor kid with the hose. He was like, that's my girl. Well, sending mixed signals, what you're supposed to do with your life. Yeah, so my mom has been acting really crazy lately. And, you know, she raised me all strict and everything. We were never allowed to play with, like, Ouija boards or anything like that. And I just think it's really ironic that my mom never let us play with Ouija boards or anything like that, but then she's the one that ends up possessed by a demon. Yeah, so the other day, it got so bad we had to call the preacher and he came over to cast the demon out of her. And it turns out the demon's name was Menopause.